Charles.
Don't move! Hands up, or we will shoot!
Freeze him, Charles.
I can't.
Hands up!
The Marvel Cinematic Universe, buzzing with superheroes and epic battles, suddenly gets a jolt of mutant energy. But how exactly do the X-Men make their grand entrance into this superhero saga? Well, there are a few theories floating around, and boy are they exciting. Alright, so here's how I picture the X-Men sliding into the MCU. Maybe they've been hanging out incognito this whole time, chilling with their X-genes on the down low. Then, bam, the snap hits, and suddenly everyone's powers are popping up like daisies. It's like the universe hit the Activate Mutant Powers button or something. Another idea could be a big old timeline mashup. Picture this. All these different universes, X-Men, Fantastic Four, even one with Venom, they all blend into the MCU to stop themselves from being total timeline messes. Sounds cool, right? But then there's the issue of what happens to the population. Do we just triple our numbers overnight? Yikes. Or maybe it's a life or death situation. The X-Men and the Fantastic Four have to ditch their universe to avoid it going kaput. So, the Young Avengers or Doctor Strange, being the good guys they are, help them merge into the MCU. That way they can pick and choose whoever they want for the cast, and it's like they're fresh off the multiverse boat. Plus, Deadpool 3 could be the perfect kickoff for their grand entrance. Alright, so we've got these three ideas for the X-Men in the MCU, but here's another cool one: Marvel Spotlight. It's basically like mini-movies focusing on each X-Men character. But the question is this the absolute best way to bring them all in? One thing's for sure, the X-Men gotta show up officially soon, and Marvel Spotlight could be a way to really introduce each mutant in a special way.
No helmet. I couldn't disobey you even if I wanted.
I'm never getting inside of that head again.
The MCU seems to be figuring things out as they go, which isn't ideal for such a big franchise, especially with the X-Men being teased for a while now. Between hiccups on their TV shows and movies, it feels like they're trying to get things back on course. One idea they're trying out is these new Spotlight projects. The MCU definitely needs some fresh faces, a whole new generation to take the reins. And who better than the X-Men? These Spotlight things might just be the perfect way to introduce them. Now the next question is, what makes Marvel Spotlight different? With a lot of street-level characters and simply brand new characters all together to introduce to casual MCU fans, the Marvel Spotlight brand is a dream come true. Supposedly, the focus is going to be to highlight character-driven narratives for those individuals in the MCU who may not be as established as the likes of the Avengers. If these stories remain disconnected from the wider MCU, as has been suggested, this allows for creatives to get back to storytelling without the heft of MCU lore weighing down the decisions that can be made. This brings us to the first Marvel Spotlight story, which is finally here with Echo. This is basically their new way to introduce lesser-known heroes who might not get their own full movie. Remember America Chavez in Doctor Strange 2? Cool character, but totally lost in the chaos of that movie. This Spotlight thing seems like a good solution. It lets them introduce new heroes with their own stories, separate from the giant MCU stuff. That way, the new characters get a chance to shine without getting overshadowed by giant space battles and surprise cameos. Sounds like a smart way to bring in exciting new heroes for the future. Now the question comes up, which X-Men characters should Marvel Spotlight focus on? The Marvel Spotlight series is the perfect opportunity to introduce mutants who might become the core members of the X-Men in the MCU. While the exact team composition is anyone's guess, there are some great choices, both established heroes and lesser-known characters who deserve more attention. Some top picks include Gambit, Rogue, Cyclops, Shadowcat, and Psylocke. These mutants would be a great fit for the MCU and could be well developed through the Spotlight shows, with heavy hitters like Storm, Nightcrawler, and Marvel Girl likely joining the MCU X-Men, and Beast already hinted at. Marvel has a fresh approach. Characters who haven't resonated with audiences in past films, like Cyclops and others mentioned, can now shine in the Spotlight series. For Cyclops, especially if he becomes the team leader, a series could build a strong connection with fans before his grand MCU entrance. While fan favorites like Gambit would be a surefire hit, the beauty of Marvel Spotlight lies in its ability to delve deeper. By focusing on individual mutants, the series avoids cramming introductions and origin stories into a movie's time frame. This allows the X-Men to truly flourish under the spotlight. Even lesser-known mutants with diverse powers and backgrounds like Marrow, Magic, Havoc, and Bishop could be explored, offering a wider range of stories and tones for the series. Now, let's discuss how could Marvel Spotlight introduce X-Men characters. Marvel Spotlight has a ton of potential to introduce mutants in a way that aligns with the overall direction of new projects. A cool approach would be to showcase the daily lives of mutants. For example, a Rogue series could delve into her past, either with a fresh take or a faithful adaptation of her comic book origin. This would give fans a window into her early struggles, the emergence of her powers, and the dangers of falling under the wrong influence. Imagine a cool Marvel Spotlight series about Rogue before she joins the X-Men. Fans who dive into the series will get a head start on understanding and loving her character. But fear not, X-Men newbies, the show won't leave you behind. A few well-placed lines here and there, especially when Rogue interacts with others, will help you get to know her. Plus, her powers are a cinch to introduce in an opening fight scene with some clever creative minds behind the camera. Why is all this exciting? Because guess what? Kevin Feige, the big boss at Marvel, hinted to Entertainment Weekly that the X-Men are coming back soon. Buckle up, because in his own words, people will see, perhaps soon. That's just a taste of the possibilities. Marvel Spotlight could totally surprise everyone with a Jubilee series, maybe even leading to a storyline that X-Men fans would instantly recognize, a fun callback to the classic X-Men cartoon. The sky's the limit for what Spotlight could do, especially with all the unique mutants out there. And hey, with all those oddball characters, there's no shortage of perfect X-Men candidates. We just have to wait and see when these mutants will make their big MCU debut. Now, before I bid farewell for today, let me tell you about one way to introduce mutants to the MCU that fans are against. So what is that one proposal? One proposal they certainly aren't set on is the idea that they exist as a secret community hidden by Charles Xavier. On the Marvel Studios subreddit, fans debated a theory about Professor X hiding mutants in a secret nation. Many weren't fans of the idea, saying it felt too similar to Wakanda. Some argued mutants could just be a small, scattered population to stay hidden. Others worried this approach wouldn't fit the X-Men's history or the themes of integration and prejudice that are central to the characters. They felt it wouldn't work in the MCU, where superheroes are already a thing. Some Marvel fans think introducing a hidden civilization with advanced technology would be a fresher story for the movies than the X-Men. The Inhumans are a race created by aliens, the Kree, using genetic engineering. These aliens intended them as warriors, but the plan fell through, and the Inhumans ended up living in a hidden city, Atalan. Marvel has already explored the Inhumans in TV shows, but they haven't been a big hit on the big screen yet. Fans have come up with several ways to introduce mutants. Some suggest Professor X erased everyone's memories of mutants, creating a need for them to re-emerge. Others propose the multiverse allows for an alternate timeline with existing X-Men. The most popular theory connects the Infinity Stones to mutant awakening. After the snaps, some humans might have developed mutations, which Professor X, if he already existed, and potentially Magneto, would have noticed. However, some fans find this approach unsatisfying because it wouldn't allow for a true origin story for many established characters. Well, that's it for today. For now, make sure that you like our video. Let me know how you think Marvel should introduce X-Men in the comments section. Subscribe to the channel to get updated, and do not forget to hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you at the next one.